Buongiorno, welcome to the Cucina de Anversa here in Anversa, a village of the Abruzzo region in Italy. I'm going to show you a few things that we make here, some traditional dishes. If you look over here, here are the ingredients we're going to use: ground lamb, onions, tomato sauce, polenta, pecorino. This is primo sale, which means the first salt. After they age the cheese for a little while, what they do is they soak it in salted cold water for 24 hours. Gives it this crust here, a little mold. Nothing wrong with that, more flavor. The salt basically firms it up, gives it a nice texture, and of course makes it taste a little better as well. Dried onions, a little milk, fresh, dried mint, fresh honey, and almonds, and one piece of stale bread. All right? So, the three dishes I'm going to make for you today are polenta abruzzese, which is polenta with a meat sauce and fresh cheese. Warm pecorino with honey and toasted almonds. And the other one is, what's the other one? Bistecca pastore, which is shepherd's steak. No meat involved, just a piece of bread, cheese. I'll show you the whole deal. So first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven over here. Nice and hot, 200 degrees Celsius, so about 400-ish Fahrenheit. Still learning the, how that works. And then what we want to do now is get our milk heated for our polenta over here. 50-50, half water, half milk, with a little salt. And I showed you the piece of stale bread earlier. This is the Bistecca pastore. It's a creation of the owner here on the farm, Nunzio. Very, very stale. The reason for that is because we want to add our milk. So when we cook it, the bread will soak in the milk, and when it's finished, the texture will be just where we want it. Won't be too soft like mush, won't be too hard. We add our dried onions. If you want to use regular onions, that's fine as well. Come over here. Split this up. Get two good sized slices. Cover the bread with the pecorino. Alright? So for now, that's all you have to do. Just like that. Very simple. Everything that we're making here today, oven is already ready. Fantastic oven, heats up extremely quick. Everything here we're doing today is very simple. Products you probably have in the house. And they're also good because they're versatile. You can do them as an appetizer, a main course, a snack, and they're very cheap too. Nothing here is expensive. I just recommend spending a little extra on a good quality piece of cheese. Now we're going to cut another piece of the pecorino. For our next dish, come over here. You're going to want to heat up this pan. Very, very nice and hot. And a little oil, not too much, just a little to coat the bottom. Going to rub that around. Just a very, very light coating. We take our cheese. As soon as it's hot enough, we're going to give it another 30 seconds to be short. As that's heating up, we're going to heat this pan up, start making our lamb sauce for the polenta dish. And our milk is almost ready, so we can pretty much rock out this entire polenta dish. At this point, let's get this sauce going first. A little oil in the pan. Onions. Milk. Gotta settle down back there, brother. Hang on. Lamb. Get a utensil for this bad boy. Wooden spoon. No metal spoon. The boss will kill me. Saute this up nice. I think our pan is hot over here, so we'll get that going. Trying to get this done nice, short, and sweet. I know you guys are very busy out there. So what you want to do is get a nice hot sear on it, brown the bottom, nice and golden, and then flip it, and just let it sit right there. I'm not going to play with it. This is pretty good. Going to give it a little white wine, pepper. I got to actually make this food taste good instead of just looking good, because I'm sure somebody's going to actually eat this. A little salt. Mix that. Now you don't need to use wine. I just had it there, so it was easy to do. Keep an eye on your cheese. Control the heat. Make sure it doesn't burn. Push it down so you know it's flat on the bottom and everything's getting a nice even sear. We're going to turn our milk back on. Get that going. Grab a whisk. Add your polenta in here. That should be enough right there. Just whisk that nice and good. Now that our wine is out of there, add your red sauce, nice and simple red sauce, not too much. About that. Okay? That's all that is. I'm going to turn the heat off there. Bring the polenta up here. You want to get a shot of this. There's already salt in that water. It's 50% milk, 50% water. Just work it here until the consistency is where you want it to be, which is about right there. Check in on our cheese. Cheese looks about good. Let's see how this is doing. Yeah. So this is what you're looking for. Nice golden, even sear on the bottom. Once you turn it over, make sure the heat's nice and low because it's got to finish cooking all the way through. Grab your honey. Your very freezing honey. It's about 8 degrees Celsius in this kitchen right now, hence the scarf, if you will. So glaze it with the honey. You want to do this as it's on the pan so the flavor can seep into it. Gonna let that sit. Slowly cook like that. Let's finish up our polenta. A little more salt. All right. Come over here. Grab a spoon. We'll plate this up. Again, this is something you could do as a side, as an appetizer, or even as a main course. Grab your sauce. Put the sauce down right on top. Again, doesn't have to be fancy. Presentation is certainly not something that is a priority around here. So again, just like that. And to finish, grab a nice chunk of cheese. Again, primo sale. You can use whatever cheese you want, but this is nice. Melts in there really good. All right, there you have it. Polenta abruzzese, our first dish. Okay, second dish we can finish up now. If you look, the cheese is pretty much cooked all the way through, nice and warm. Of course, the honey is beginning to brown, which you don't really want that. So let's get that off the heat. Transfer it to the plate, like so. Okay. Almonds. And finish. There you have it. Warm pecorino with miele, which is honey, and toasted crushed almonds, okay? Our second dish. Let's go see how the third dish is doing. You know this is pretty much done as soon as the milk dries up around. You see this milk is still there, so you want to give it just a little longer. But we'll pull it now because everything else is finished. So I'll show you the final product here. So once you have this, You want to use fresh mint, but we don't have any fresh mint, so I'm going to use a little dry mint. All right, but fresh mint definitely the way to go. Okay, a few more onions maybe on top, like so. And the best olive oil that you have in your house, the Bistecca. Ooh, that's hot. Bistecca Pastori, stale bread, pecorino, mint, milk on the bottom, something you can eat during the day, or if you feel like making a dinner and you don't want to do SpaghettiOs, but you want to do something else that's cheap, try this. I'll put them together. Those are the three dishes, three traditional dishes from Anversa. And again, hopefully you guys can give them a shot at home. And so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment. Next time I promise to do something a little more complex. But I didn't want to take too much of your time because I know everybody's very busy out there. So that's it. Cut!